we'll get started. Welcome to Reimagining the Future, Earth and Global Justice Days at Sac City College. My name is Riyad Mahour, and I'm Professor of History and Global Studies at Sac City. Just a reminder to keep your mics off until the discussion time, or until we have an opportunity for Q&A. I wanted to let you know that our goal in Reimagining the Future is 2 years into this pandemic, and hopefully we're coming out of it, is to reconnect to our communities, both locally and globally, and to invite you by way of these special educational sessions to learn more about the rich world around us, and to consider Sac City as your home base for education and advancement of your life goals. We have a dazzling array of classes and programs and dedicated expert faculty just waiting for you. Today's theme is Sustainable Futures. Next week on April 28th, we have another full day of amazing sessions with the theme of global justice. Today's program, this very first program of Sustainable Futures, is a special program that comes out of a collaboration between the Global Studies Program, the SEC Makerspace, and Solar Education Project. As you can see in one of the video boxes, under Tom Capoletti's name, we actually have a few students in the Makerspace who will be following our guest today, actually making some of the solar cookers. There's Tom and Michelle waving at us. I'm really pleased today that we have our collaborators from Solar Education Project, Mary Buchenik and Jennifer Gasser, who are also waving to you. And they will introduce our special guests, Elie and also Taylor, and tell us a little bit more about what they're going to present to us today. Mary and Jennifer.
Thank you, Riyad. Okay, thank you. We're really excited to be part of this collaboration with you, and are enjoying every minute of the preparation that took place in putting this together. So first, let me introduce to you Taylor DeProfio. Taylor's a senior engineering student at Youngstown State University, and she has worked with Solar Education Project since, I believe, 2018 on various Haiti-related solar cooking research projects. And that was through the university. And Taylor has also volunteered with us on a number of occasions with both local programs and international programs. So we're really glad that she could join us today. She has worked with Elie in the past on a collaboration between YSU and SEP and Elie in Haiti. Okay, and then on to our guest instructor for today. Our guest instructor is Elie Joseph from Hinge in Haiti. Elie is a recent graduate of University of Notre Dame, Haiti in medical biology. He's an advocate for clean cooking solutions in his country, and he works with various nonprofits to promote solar cooking as the future of sustainable cooking. Elie was recently selected as 2022 Island Ambassador for the Island Innovation Ambassador Program that brings together young leaders of island communities around the world to collaborate on innovative solutions. So thank you, Elie, for offering to do this program and for your all of your efforts. And also we want to mention your friend there, Chris Barnes, who is seeing to it that Elie stays online and that everything's in focus while he is presenting. So thank you also to Chris. Okay, Riyad, we'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, we're ready to get started with Elie in Haiti. And if you have your materials, you can follow along. And just so everyone knows that this recording will be up on the same site, that you can access it starting in 2 days, so not immediately after this session, but you'll access it for 30 days. So if you need to kind of look at it again, you can. And there is Elie right now. Elie, you can take it away. Thank you for joining us. Your microphone is muted.
All right, so hello everybody. So I'm so happy to be with you. So as Mary said already, I'm Elie Joseph. So and today I'm going to show you how to make a Copenhagen. You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you perfectly.
Yes. So so happy to be with you.
Happy to have you.
Yes. So today I'm going to show you how to make a Copenhagen that I built with students from Youngstown State University. So this is all the materials I'm gonna use to build my Copenhagen piece today. So I'm going to use 4 poster boards. I'm going to use glue. I'm going to use a scissors. I'm going to use a ruler. I'm going to use aluminum foil. I'm going to use a pencil, a tape, a paintbrush to build my Copenhagen piece today. So my poster board is, I'm going to use 4 poster boards, but today I'm going to, the Copenhagen I'm going to build today, it is a 22 by 22 inches. So firstly, what I'm going to measure this is my first pieces, I'm going to measure it. Make it strong. Okay, so my poster board is 40 by 26 inches, but as I told you, I'm going to cut it to make it 22 by 22 inches. I measure 22 right here and I mark it. I'm going to use my scissors to cut it.
Riyadh,
Yes.
I just want to mention Ellie's supplies from Haiti are different size than what we have access to. So the students probably have poster board that's 22 by 28, and they will just need to trim 6 inches off of theirs, one end to get the 22 by 22.
Thank you.
This one is, so right now I'm going to measure the other part to make it 22 also. I'm going to cut this part. So this is my first piece, 22 by 22 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to put glue on my put the glue on the little ball, and now I'm going to paint it my poster board. I'm just painting it. Have you ever used solid cooker before?
This is a different kind of session than a straightforward presentation. So I think if people did want to unmute and talk about their experience with solar cookers or answer Elie's question, that's totally okay.
Elie asked if we used that solar oven before, and Jennifer and I
Absolutely.
have used this exact oven. I have to brag. Here we go. We baked cakes with it and entered our cakes in a contest, a tasting contest, and we won first prize with solar baked vegan chocolate cake. Taylor was there. I think she can verify that.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. And that's all with this simple oven that Elie's showing us how to make.
Yes.
Taylor, do you still use your oven?
So I don't actually have the Copenhagens on hand. They are stored away in one of the labs here on campus. So I haven't been able to use them after I left the project last year. And to their point of having used them before, yes, I've definitely used this Copenhagen. This is what all of our testing was done on. But one thing that we did try to do was create a miniature model of this Copenhagen. So we actually have, I believe it's an 11 by 11, so it's a half model size. And it's about this big. It's really, really cute. I'm not sure what that one is either. I think it got shuffled around and might have got lost. But this oven can be sized up or down from the one that Elie's making. And I think that's just a neat concept. And it still works.
Okay, so now I'm going to put my aluminum foil. So it is important to see the shiny parts in your aluminum foil. So for this one, so this is my shiny part. I'm going to put it. It is important to have shiny parts.
Elie, why is that important?
So it is important. So when you are cooking, so it's the reflective material that of a cooker. Now I'm just
Now, Taylor and Mary and Jennifer, you talked about solar cooking, and you mentioned that you're in northeastern Ohio and that it's snowing right now. And we know that Elie is in Haiti, where it's usually sunnier and warmer. What is it like to use the same kind of cooker in northeastern Ohio? Can you really cook with it?
Yes, absolutely. There's just maybe less opportunity because specifically we live in a part of Ohio that gets a lot of cloud cover, I think coming in off the Great Lakes.
Yeah, we get lake effect.
So that was one of the reasons that we wanted to upsize the Copenhagen, because like Elie said, you need that reflective surface to bring the sunlight into your cooking space. So we figured a bigger oven, more reflective surface, it would give us a little better chance to cook in conditions that weren't ideal. So yeah, absolutely. Even in the winter, just not too long ago, was able to bake some bread in the Copenhagen. And I double insulated everything and, did everything I could to maximize the efficiency of the oven for the conditions. But it was a beautiful sunny day, and the outside temperature was about, I would say, 30 some degrees Fahrenheit, and it was still able to bake some very nice bread.
So the requirement is sunshine and not necessarily warm temperatures.
Right, and I've seen, like Sharon Clausen is the inventor of this original oven, and she lives in California, so sometimes when I see her cooking, she's not as concerned with having extra heat traps. It's enough for her to be able to put a lid on it and cook something. But in Ohio, I think we find that we don't have that luxury. So sometimes I double trap my food, and I make sure that, I have extra reflective material. So whatever trick there is, we maximize by doing getting out all the tricks in the book.
We align the ovens a bit more. We're more precise, and that's why it really, I think, works if you realign as the sun repositions. Some people say just do it every 30 minutes. Well, we're pretty critical with that. We're out there 15, 20 minutes making sure we've turned and adjusted the panels to reflect and concentrate the sunlight. And that helps. It does. The oven cooks great. It's a great little oven.
It's great. I think Elie is maybe moving on to the next step.
Yes, so the next step is, I'm going to choose of my poster board. I'm going to mark 7.5 inches. Corner, I mark 7.5 inches. And I join the two mark. And you fold it like that. So, and you are going to do that for the three other poster boards. So this is the same thing I'm going to do for the other three, but I already did the three order already.
Riyadh, how's Tom doing? How are the kids doing?
There's a lot of activity over there in the
I can see it.
maker space.
And if they have questions, please have them. I don't know if Tom can hear us. There we go.
Okay.
Now we're wondering what he measured on the corners.
Oh, 7.5 inches on the corners on from each side, so that he could then fold the corner in.
Do you want to see that again?
So, I choose one corner of my poster board and I set it up in half inches, and I fold it like that, just to make the back of my copy.
Can you hold it up, Elie? Can you hold the poster board toward the camera so they can see?
Yes. So this is the 7.5 inch poster board.
And that's just one corner, you said. One corner.
Yes, one poster board, and I'm going to do that for the three orders.
Okay.
I'm going to do this thing.
So Riyadh, am I muted? No, Riyadh, while the kids are working, maybe, do you have any questions you could ask Elie about Haiti and why he's become an activist and an advocate for solar cooking.
Yeah, I mean, we all want to know how, Elie, how you became involved with solar cooking and why it's an important activity for you.
So, as Mary and Jennifer said already, so when I meet Mary and Jennifer, they introduced me to solar cooking at my university. So I see, so this would be like a good opportunity for Haiti, because Haiti, as a tropical country, we can use solar oven almost every single day for cooking instead of using charcoal and firewood, because it is healthy, it is healthier, and it help and protect the environment.
And are a lot of people in Haiti that you talk to, do they embrace solar cooking easily, or do you have to convince them?
Yes, so all people really like solar cooking because it helps them. It helps the environment and it helps them save money. So it's simple. Really needed.
We have a question.
Yes.
So they should be making 4 panels, 22 by 22 each, correct?
Yeah, so it's up to you. So because then you can build like a Copenhagen. So any measure you want, but for today I'm good like the oven I'm going to build it would be 22 by 22 inches, but it's up to you. Any measure you want.
Okay, that's all we needed. Thank you, Elie.
You're welcome. Okay. So right now I'm going to join my poster board.
Are they ready for that, Tom? Elie, they may not be ready yet.
Okay, so
Let's see what Tom has to say.
Say that again.
Will you let us
We're
know?
ready.
You ready?
I'm not multitasking. I can hear you, and I've got it's pandemonium.
Are they ready to join the 4 pieces together, or do you need
No.
Okay, let us know.
Yeah, they didn't know they needed to do 4. Each person did 1.
Ah,
Okay.
So that's just note to the instructions.
All right. Sounds good. Well, that's good, because I actually have another question. I'm really interested in the idea of a global solar cooking community. And I noticed that, Mary and Jennifer and Taylor have all been to Haiti and have all engaged in solar cooking relationships with people all over the world, right? And it's really kind of remarkable when you look at these, like the groups on social media for solar cookers, global networks, etc. What is it about that global connection, people-to-people connection, that is so special when it comes to solar cooking? I mean, for all of you, for Elie, for Mary, for Taylor, Jennifer. Taylor, do you want to go first? Tell us a little bit about your engagement in this.
So I have not actually been to Haiti. I was working here in Ohio, and my work was sent with Mary and Jennifer down to Elie and the group down there. So I think that the greatest part about this is just meeting like-minded people who just want to find a clean way of producing energy and trying to eliminate the burning of fuels that's so detrimental to the atmosphere and the environment, and finding a clean way to do that.
and Taylor also had an experience working with Learning Streams International, and that was through Hiram College. It was a program from the State Department that brought students together from
Pakistan,
Ohio, and Pakistan. And they spent quite a bit of time here learning about ecology. And I think that was a great experience also. Just crossing over cultures and as Taylor said, talking to like-minded people who are interested in learning about, clean cooking methods and ways to improve their lives and the lives of people around them. And I know some people go into this thinking about what they can do for others. I'll say, I think I speak for both of us. We believe this is something we need to do for ourselves. We have cooking options that can seem clean to people, but all energy is produced, processed, transported. I mean, there's no such thing as a totally clean energy, even though when we cook, we don't have the fumes and the gases and the smoke. But I think we all need to be responsible for our energy consumption, and this is one way that on any given sunny day, we can be out in our backyards cooking food with our solar ovens. I don't know if you want to add.
Yeah, I think I'm relatively new to the solar cooking gig, 7 years, 6 years, something like that. And I found it an incredibly empowering choice that when you get up in the morning and it's sunny, you have the choice. Take your oven out there and cook. It's really liberating. So I think, and we have on here, I think I see Luther. He has probably interviewed more people who solar cook than most of us even know that solar cook. He has some great videos on it, and I think he probably could answer that question very well too, because he's knee deep in it. But I wanted to make one more comment about Elie and that one panel. That one panel, the single panel 22 by 22 that Elie finished first, that is the panel Taylor was talking about for those mini ovens. That will, if you fold it just off of that one panel, you get the model size oven, or what we call the kid solar cooker. And it does work. It's much smaller portion, but you can use just that one panel and make a small model solar oven. Sorry, hi Luther.
Good, Luther. Can you put your link on the chat, Luther, for your Big Blue
Sure.
Sun Museum? Because you have great videos on there.
I will do that. Yes, just to briefly define it, it's everyone and anyone I could find in the contiguous 48 states who do anything with solar cooking that's notable. That could be just a super user where they have several cookers and they use them every day, or they've designed fantastic models like Sharon Clausen, of course, the Sun Buckets people, and those who do the promotions, such as Mary and Jennifer, where they've been around the world. Joe and I, my wife and I, who visited them, we had kind of running joke during that trip. It seems like everyone we visited had been to Haiti with their solar cookers, and which is fantastic, because then what that is, it's remarkable, just for the sake of, it's such a welcoming country for bringing in people who have the expertise to help them out, and true partners when it comes to this sort of effort. So I'll just put my link in the chat, and feel free. I'm not monetizing or anything, but if you subscribe, I just get an idea, of the reach that it has. So I'll plug that in right now.
Thanks, Luther. Jennifer said the word liberating, right? There is something kind of liberating and also joyful around cooking cleanly, right? And considering that the climate crisis is a global crisis, it's also really hopeful to see the relationships developing between people all over the world around this, what Elie calls the next generation of sustainable cooking, right? So we're glad to be part of that. And one of the ideas behind Global Makers is that we also, as you said, Mary, it's not that we in the developed world are teaching or benefiting people in other parts of the world, but we are also learning from people all over the world who are resourcefully responding to the climate crisis. I'm wondering where we're at, and if Elie wants to move to the next step, if we're ready for that.
So I don't know if they're waiting.
Maybe we'll check in again. That we'll gauge according to the folks in the makerspace. Are the students in the makerspace done with their 4 panels yet? Yeah.
Everybody's on like 3/4 of the way through. We need just a little more time for our 4th panel.
Okay. It's great to see you at work over there.
Yeah, so solid cooker is something that really work for Haiti because you have some places where the distribution, like in some schools, teaching the kids, teaching professors, but it's something they really interested with it because in many schools in Haiti, so for the food they use for the students, they use charcoals and firewood for making that food. So and then they destroy the environment. And when I meet like the directors and teachers and I talk to them about that, they say, wow, so it is something that can help the environment, like have a better Haiti, like a beautiful Haiti, and help it with reforestation.
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit, Elie, about the style of cooking in Haiti, and does it take a lot of effort to adapt it to solar cooking? And what are some of the best Haitian foods or dishes to cook in a solar cooker?
Yes, so right now I cook like all foods in my solar oven. The traditional food that we have in Haiti, we have rice and beans. So I cook that in my solar oven. So in all the easier food, I cook them with no problem. Mm-hmm. Yes, but so when I first visit solar cooker with some people, the first thing they were complaining about, they say, oh, it would be okay like in the sun for cooking. So I say, oh no, so you don't want to stay in the sun, so you can prepare everything and set up your solar oven. So after 1 hour, you come and get your food.
So meaning you put it out in the sun and then you get out of the sun and wait for the cooking to happen.
Yes, right.
Which is nice. And you can't really burn anything in a solar cooker.
No, never.
Wait. We've burned things in the solar cooker.
We have.
And Elie, I'll tell you a story. You've never met Joseph. He's our Haitian friend who lives in the United States. And he went.
Met Joseph.
Did he? Oh, wait. You did meet Joseph at the university. That's right.
Yeah, I met him.
Okay, so Joseph did a trip without us, and he was doing some solar cooking in a community in Haiti, and he put a cake on, and I think he burned it quite a bit. And when
he was embarrassed.
And when the women came over to check the cake, they were actually really impressed. And he discovered that he had convinced them of the power of the sun to cook food by burning a cake. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. And he's a chef, so we laugh about that all the time.
Did you burn it with this kind of solar cooker, like this kind of panel?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, he did.
You have some great surface space there. So when you look at that in the flower position, there's an awful lot of concentrated sunlight there. And that's where he was in Haiti, not in Ohio.
Right.
I've successfully burned things in Ohio, though, I'm proud to say.
So,
nice summer day.
Yeah, I have too. So we're here to tell you can burn food in a solar cooker. And I don't know if we're proud of that, but we do want to share that.
So speaking of cooking and burning and what you mentioned earlier, heat traps and alignment and that sort of thing, when Elie's done showing us how to build this cooker, will he also kind of show us a little bit how to assemble it, how to put the pot in it and how to align it and what a heat trap is?
Yes, I think Elie's prepared to do that. And Taylor also can add to the discussion about how the ovens work, how the light is directed and absorbed, and explain how we use the acronym DARE, D-A-R-E, to help people remember the basic science concepts of solar cooking.
This might be a good moment for that.
Taylor.
I didn't know if Elie wanted to jump on first. He had something prepared.
Elie, were you about to say something?
Whoops.
So yes. So as I told you, I will be passionate. I will be passionate about salad cooker because my country needs that. Because we have good sunshine in Haiti. We have pretty good sunshine in Haiti. But so we'll see if people can start cutting the trees down to see what can we do if we can have better Haiti with that, because salad ovens can make that happen.
Yeah, and a lot of times when people think of solar cookers, they might not think right off the bat that solar cookers save forests, right? Or that solar cookers liberate women from hours of looking for firewood every day, right? For example, or that solar cookers improve air quality. Maybe that's more obvious, but there are so many different connections, and that they assist in the feeling of liberation from these other resources that you have to either purchase or expend a lot of labor gathering.
Riyadh, Elie had mentioned that when he first shows people solar cooking, they can't believe sometimes that the sun has been able to cook, the omelets or the rice or the vegetables. And it's no different here in the United States. People are always amazed. And so we try to make sure that people understand there's science behind this. It's, it seems like magic. It really does. You walk outside, you lift the lid, and you have cooked food sitting on your patio. But there's science behind it. And maybe Taylor could talk about that science for a little bit. Do you mind, Taylor?
Sure. I can start by going through DARE and what it means. So like Mary said, it's DARE, and the D stands for to direct. You want to direct as much sunlight into the center of the oven as possible. And this acts basically like a big lens. Any kind of optics science, you are literally just directing the rays toward the center of the oven. And this was kind of something that I wanted to implement into my research in trying to figure out the amount of power that's directed toward the center and seeing exactly what kind of power you have generated and able to cook with. That proved itself a little more complicated than I anticipated, but there's definitely room to make progress in that vein. There's programs out there. I've tried to use Soul Trace before, and so that's like a future direction of analyzing and the future of solar cookers. The A is to absorb, and basically you just want to absorb all of the sun's radiation that's coming down to the center of the to the oven. And to do this, like Mary is showing, you need to have a dark cookware for that. And you need to have dark cookware to absorb the light. And part of my research was to kind of determine how much of that is important on the bottom of the pot, because that's also a cooking surface. And when we had sent the first round of Copenhagen's down to Haiti, we noticed that they were picking them up off of the base of the cooker a little bit. I don't know if you have, Mary, if you have a plastic piece that, yep. So we had done a little bit of research to figure out if there was an optimal height above the base to set the cooker. And it was a little bit inconclusive, but it definitely needs to be elevated somewhat so that you get the light underneath. R in DARE is to retain, and how Mary was talking about the heat traps. You essentially want to create a greenhouse around your pot so that light can get in, but the heat can't get out. And to do this, we've used oven bags before. We have used Pyrex bowls as literally a greenhouse, a trap of 2 bowls stacked on top of each other. And then, yeah, exactly like that. And then that just sits in the center and retains all of your heat. And then finally, the E in DARE is to eat. You get to enjoy the food that you've just cooked in your cooker using an entirely clean energy method.
Hey y'all, we are all finished making the panels, so ready for the next step.
Great. Thank you, Taylor, and thanks, Michelle. I think we're going to turn it over to Elie to continue us in the process.
He's going to make it.
Yes. So now we are going to put the pen over your poster board. You're going to turn it over. Like join the 7.5 inches. We're gonna join them.
Either hold them up or how.
Here it goes.
Can we see where you're joining them?
Yes.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. We turn it over and now we are joining like that.
Tom and Michelle, have they creased
The corner.
the corners?
Some have and some haven't.
Okay, so each panel needs 1 crease in 1 corner.
So they all fit
Okay,
Because
like
that's
in the center.
our corner? Like, hold on, unplug. This guy? You see that?
can't see. Yes,
Oh, yes.
So do that for the other 3 panels. 1 corner, 1 corner only though.
Okay, you guys got that? Outer corner. The outer corner, you want to be.
It will actually end up being the inside that makes the base of the cooker. So that's what you'll set your pot on. The not creased part makes the leaves or the petals of the flower that Jennifer was talking about.
That's very good context. So all of the folded corners together become the base.
How big is the corner triangle?
7
7
inches.
inches?
Measure 7.5 inches,
7.5.
and then connect the 2.
Okay. All right.
Is this next step where the tape comes in?
Yes, tips comes in the next step.
folks who made the solar cookers today would be able to come out on Thursday on Earth Day to do some solar cooking together on our campus. But it's going to be rainy and windy on Thursday, so we had to cancel the Earth Day in-person portion of our programming. But we'll get in touch with everybody on this call and others to invite you for another solar cooking day when it's sunny.
Riyadh,
Yes.
do they have the pots there and the sleeves, or no? Is that later?
So
We have, I'll show you what we did. We have these roasting pans that we painted black because Riyadh and I were commiserating that you can't really find any good cookware anymore at thrift stores. It's all junky, scratched Teflon line junk. But this will work. And then we were planning on using oven bags Thursday, but probably wait till the fall when we have welcome day. Mark Webster's here with 4 or 5 of his solar cookers too that are really cool. So we're all looking at those too because there's so many ways to do this. By the way, I have a question. Are we ready to connect the 4 panels?
You're ready over there, Tom?
Are we ready to connect our panels?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Elie, we can connect now. Elie, your microphone is off.
Okay. I'm just taking over my poster book like that. And kind of get this. And now I'm just like I put the white here and I put the white there. Like that.
So you're just taping as far as the base is that 7.5 inches.
Yeah, right.
Hmm?
I just did this part. You waiting?
Can't hear you, Elie. It's a little bit choppy, the audio.
Everybody ready?
You're asking if everybody's ready? Okay. Makerspace folks, are you ready? folks in the makerspace ready for Elie to move on to the next step?
Let's see. Yeah, we are all taped. Everybody's taped, right, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, one more piece of tape. We're almost there.
All right. I can.
Quick question. I don't think it matters all that much, but some of us didn't realize there was a shinier side of the tinfoil and a less shiny side. Is it a huge deal if we didn't use the shiny side?
You're good. Mary, you wanna take that one?
Sorry, yes.
You can glue over it.
But you can glue over it. You could take the shiny side and maybe even staple it around. Yeah.
Put another layer.
Good to know. Might be a good tip for future students because I just noticed until I looked at someone else.
He did say that in the instructions, but maybe it was not. Maybe the audio wasn't good.
User error. No, I take full responsibility.
He was.
So while we're waiting, David Stillman wanted to say a word about the Public-Private Alliance Foundation and their work with Elie and Haiti. David?
So my name is David Stillman. I'm Executive Director of the Public-Private Alliance Foundation, good friends with Mary and Jennifer and with lots of others in the solar cooking community. We have been working in Haiti for a few years on various forms of renewable energy, helping to overcome the great dependence of families on charcoal for cooking the daily meals. And Elie Joseph is one of our great collaborators. It's really tremendous to see you today, Elie, and to hear this and see the presentation that you're doing. My wife a few minutes ago put up on the chat connection to a video that Elie has made about solar cooking in relation to the tremendous problem of charcoal in Haiti. And another of our colleagues who is living and working in Jacmel, his name is Fedno Lubin, has also made such a video, and it is a great pleasure to say that both of those are on our website. You can find them in the chat room. Elie is a graduate of a course on solar cooking and biogas that Public-Private Alliance Foundation with several other collaborating organizations has put together at the Université Notre-Dame de Haïti at Hatch. And Mary and Jennifer are among those who have come to provide a visit and good instruction and mentorship, and they keep in touch with what is being done there. We're very pleased about the fact that this course in Hatch has now run for a few years and has led to a new step through a couple of new steps through Elie's initiative. Elie has informed two other organizations about the benefits of solar cooking, and they have become quite excited to learn about this and to spread the possibilities of solar cooking from the campus into the community. We're working on the details for that, so I'm not going to mention their names, but Elie knows who they are, and Elie knows very well. So we're just really pleased to see something like this going on in Sacramento and on the website. where many others have a chance to learn about the simplicity of some forms of solar cooking and the benefits of it, not only as a sometime thing, but especially in Haiti, where there is so much sun so many days of the year. Insolation, I think, is the scientific word, that this is really quite something and quite possible and quite beneficial. Elie answered a question a little while ago about what can you cook, and he mentioned rice and beans, which is a very popular dish in Haiti. And in fact, we're working with our colleague in Jacmel to test quite a number of different recipes and put together a solar cooking cookbook. So we'll tell you more about that in the future. I think I've probably spoken enough for the moment, but I'd be very happy to hear from anyone and to connect with folks as they may wish.
Thanks,
Hey,
David.
we're ready for the next step, by the way, too.
All right, fantastic. Elie, we're ready for the next step.
Right on. So we're going to fold it, I guess.
Yeah, so now we just, you see?
Yep, we see. It looks good.
Yes, we just join it one out and we put the tape on it. Like where we measure the 7.5 inches, we just put the tape on there.
Looks good.
Yeah.
And then, what's the next step now after that?
Okay, so the next step, so we are going to measure and the extra possible that you have, we are going to measure 10 inches no matter 11 inches, no matter. So we're gonna measure 10 inches to make the bottom of the Copenhagen piece, like 10 inches square.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see this one?
Elie,
Yes.
their poster board is a different size. Okay, so I'm going to hold up. These are the pieces that were cut off when you trimmed your poster board to 22 by 22.
Yes.
Tom, can you see this? And you can take these together and then make your 10 by 10 piece
Yes.
from this taped together piece, using the scraps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The extra possible that can make 10 inches square, no problem.
Right, so they just need to figure out a way to get a 10-inch square piece of poster board. And to do that, they can use the scraps, tape them together, and then measure out 10 by 10.
And tape it on the bottom side.
Yes.
Side of the other.
Right, I think I'll show you.
First, it needs 10 by 10 square.
Yeah.
Will that square be covered with foil?
No, it'll be at the base of the underside of the oven.
It's going to go on the bottom. Why? Why is it there?
For strength. It gives the oven
For
strength
strength.
where the pot sits. So
And there's
that
a
the
lot of
panel-
questions on why they're doing what they're doing.
It's a good question. It's a very good question.
So for strength and stability on the bottom, the non-aluminum side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It gives the oven some strength on the bottom, but it also helps those panels and the tape stay together, that you just have that extra layer underneath.
That makes sense. I think we're like, and then is it glued
Yes.
or glued?
Glued. Do you want Elie to show you right now, and then they can just go ahead and work?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Elie.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show you, glue it to the base. Basically, that's
Just glue it.
just a little reinforcement. The seat, the bottom. It's basically like just to hold it so it doesn't fall apart. We got it. We're doing it. So see what Ellie's doing? He's just gonna glue it and stick it to the back side.
Right at the corner where they all connect.
Yeah.
Everything keeps working.
Oh, that's why.
Here's all the papers. No, like I have a ruler and pencil and then like all of my stuff is gone. Welcome to Makerspace.
Welcome to the Makerspace. You gotta get used to that.
Looks like so much fun over there in the Makerspace. Can't wait till the Makerspace reopens in the fall and we can all hang out there.
It's actually really fun right now, you guys. It's because I feel the energy of like everyone's a little different too. That's what's cool about it, you know. But they're all gonna work, you know.
I have this extra 10 by 10 thing.
Oh wait. Yeah.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
So Ellie, you got your glue on there?
Yes.
This is more for portrait.
And you're just gonna apply that to the bottom of your base.
Did you say tape it, glue it? What did you say?
Glue.
Glue it. Okay.
All right. So we'll probably be needing about 2 or 3 more minutes to do that, and then we'll be ready. So.
Okay.
I'm waiting for you.
Elie, can you show them how to put that on the base?
Yes. After you put it like that, like you just join it. You see? Like that.
See how he's doing that? Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Following the exact shape that he already folded,
Yes.
it simply reinforces.
And after you can put like little tip around.
Nice. He's gluing it. Okay. I might do both. I think because that's actually good. Yeah. Right.
So he glued it, and then it looks like he's gonna reinforce the edges with tape.
You can tape it.
Yeah, we saw that. We're gonna do both.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you move along to be able to fold it when you want to show the panels and how it comes together. So it helps to hold that piece on.
That makes total sense. Looks good. It's looking good here.
What are we gonna make?
That's exciting.
Tomorrow about 7 p.m.
Don't put any eggs in it. We get it right away.
Yeah, no way. Oh yeah. Just eat the cookie now.
The sun just came out in Sacramento.
I see it.
Yeah, we see it outside.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Could you send some our way, please? We have none.
I know snow in April in northeastern Ohio.
If you have cold sun versus a hotter sunny
Hot day or cold day, does it matter for solar?
No, you just need the sun, and if it's colder, you have to make sure you have a good heat trap so that the heat doesn't dissipate.
In a heat trap, as Tom mentioned, it could be an oven roasting bag. It could be 2 large Pyrex bowls placed on top of each other. It could be, what are some other examples of heat traps? Cylinder, plastic cylinder.
Yes.
Any chance you can help me do that? Or are we not there yet?
We're not there yet.
Oh, because I don't know.
I guess people are doing it out there. People want to start assembling now.
So you're ready to start assembling it, huh?
Yeah, they're doing it ahead of us. Okay. So I know we're running out of time. That's why.
Yeah, we have about 8 minutes left, and then we kind of a firm shut off.
It's gonna be like
so Elie, are you? Looks like you're also ready to assemble.
I'll like bring a torch, you know, like okay.
Just I'll be fine.
All right. Elie.
Okay, ready to assemble. There, the makerspace is ahead of us. Somebody.
Eyes up here.
Go ahead, Elie. Go for it. Flip it upside down.
Yes.
Now, ideally, you'd be waiting for the glue to dry and all of that, right?
Jessica is right here.
Yeah, but if you, but now I just put mine a few minutes ago, but it's ready. Yeah. Yes.
So how do you? So now, how do you put it together? Is this where the little clips come?
I'm going to clip the corner. So now, yes, I'm going to clip the corner. The clips right here. You can use any clips you want.
Okay. So you can use any clips you want. You clip, you overlap, you clip the
Overlapping clip. How much overlap?
One clip for each corner.
Answer that. Tom,
Yeah.
the shape of the oven changes based on the sun. So if you have a noon sun, you bring it way up into like a cone shape, and you can have more overlap. If it's a sun lower in the sky, then your front panel can go down a little bit.
That's great to know. That makes total sense. Everybody was not
just kind of play around with it. You can bring them close together. You can bring them further apart depending on the sun.
Perfect. Okay.
It's good to start with the high flour position because you can reduce it from there. You can drop a panel. So if you start with the panels a bit closer together, you understand how the oven works.
Got it.
Yes. Do you see my oven?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
And then, so if you were going to cook in it, what would you do now?
So now I'm going to mark in each panel. I'm going to, for example, in this part, I'm going to write front and back, left and right. So when I'm cooking, I can identify exactly like the shadow could be in the back of my oven.
Elie, it's perfect. There's a shadow right behind you.
Yes.
So the back of your oven would have the shadow.
That's right.
Excellent, right? So clearly you don't want the shadow in front of your oven because then you wouldn't be facing the sun, right?
Yes.
And
The way Elie is standing, that's the back of the oven, and that gets faced toward the sun.
People do it differently. You know, some people orient from the front. I look up at the sun holding my oven, and when I see that shadow behind me, I put my oven down. Some people turn the opposite way, so they're facing, they're creating the shadow, and they find the alignment and put their oven down that way.
And that's just going to be also kind of a matter, if you're new to this, just going out there with it and trying it out. Wear sunglasses, right? Wearing sunglasses is always a good idea because that reflection is powerful. You can also raise your pot off of the ground by putting an upside down glass Pyrex pie dish or a trivet that's not dark, that will still allow the light to reflect.
Got it. Yeah.
The beef.
The beast.
Do we have the pot, Elie?
Yes.
That's great. I love seeing all these finished solar cookers.
Now ready to cook. Yes.
She's laughing.
One of our students taped all the joints, so they're untaping the joints. You know, you learn by the mistakes, though. That's what's made it. I totally understand the concept, so that's cool. Jessica did that on purpose.
The mistakes are very important. Very important.
Yes. Yes.
And this oven is a great one to extend the learning. There are a lot of people who find once they start solar cooking that they'd like a little higher back panel, or they want to. I folded mine one more time so that I have another crease in it. So you can start to experiment and see if it improves the efficiency of your oven.
So, like most of the time, so you can use like this is a lid that I use, but I find this one from my ends one or ends two. Like this one I use for like just to put my black pot on it. So I think you can find other things just to put your black pot, so no problem. But in my case, for my Copenhagen base, I just use this one from my ends one in Haiti.
And you just clip that according to the size of the pot.
Oh,
yeah.
It's of my.
Whoops, sorry. I think he's showing he clips it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you made it the size of the pot.
Where's our pot? In your bowl. Is he back?
There you go.
Yes. I want to thank you very much, Elie, for this demonstration, and it's just so magical to see in the makerspace all of these solar cookers already ready to be in production, and the sun is out, and hopefully they're gonna go out there and test them a little bit. Unfortunately, we have to end, but this recording will be accessible for the next 30 days, and then we'll find a way to make it accessible afterwards too. And tune in to Global Makers. We'll have some more sessions with Elie and with some of our other makers from around the world. Thank you, Mary and Jennifer.
Very good.
Good job, Elie.
Everybody.
Elie, smile, wave, yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome, and thank you to be with you.